What is up, everybody? It is your best friend on the YouTubes, HAble, and I'm coming at you today with my new audio setup, so I hope it sounds pretty dandy. Now, I know I promised you guys an Xbox Elite controller review because you douchebags wouldn't just tell me how well it worked for Halo 2. Just kidding, I love you guys, but really, come on. Come on, give me some love on Twitter. Give me some responses to my questions every once in a while. Twitter.com/HablePune. Please answer my gaming-related questions. It would save me $150. Is what I would say if I didn't like this controller. However, I have to admit that the Xbox One Elite controller is actually a really sick controller. I bought this on a whim just because I wanted to try it. I've been using the normal Xbox One controller and the Xbox One Halo Edition controller, and both of them get really slippery, even for a guy like me in Minnesota, where it's usually really cold. So I tried the Xbox One Elite controller, and I thought, you know what? This is actually pretty sweet. It has a pretty grippy back. The front face is also pretty matte. It's pretty sticky. It's a lot better than the normal Xbox One controller, which gets slippery no matter what you do. It's actually horrendous how bad the normal Xbox One controllers are. I can't stand them. Now, that being said, I really can't talk too much to the back triggers on the Xbox One Elite controller because I don't really use them. If you've watched my Halo 2 content, you know that I do love me some BY, X holding select snipes, and you would think that I would use the controller for that, but I think that's kind of BS, so at least until my Montage 7 drops, I am not going to be using the controller to manipulate my hands and give myself more dexterity across the controller, because I want to make my clips as legit as possible, and I figured if I start the montage playing one way, I should finish the montage playing that same way. It only seems fair. Now, that being said, those back little triggers are pretty handy. I can see why people would like them. I did put them on for one game just to mess around after everyone on the other team quit besides one AFK dinosaur. You bastard, why couldn't you have just quit the game? I had to sit there for 10 more minutes hitting BY on my trigger stop thingamabobs in the back. I don't know what they're called. I'm just gonna call them trigger thingies in the back of the controller. You can tell I didn't do my research. That's why this is not a very official review. It's just me saying, hey, I used it for Halo 2. I used it as a traditional controller, and it was pretty cool. But back to the BY thing, my hands were getting so mixed up with all these buttons that I ended up trying to quickscope, and I end up meleeing the air, or I end up switching weapons before I shot the gun. So, obviously there is a bit of a learning curve, but I feel like if you play with it for a few hours, you will probably be better off than if you didn't use it. That being said, this is going to be a very short video, mostly as a microphone test, and because I did indeed promise a review of this controller, so my review goes like this. It feels good, 10 out of 10, I like it. I showed it to my dad when he came up here to help me with this recording setup. He said it is the best quality controller he's ever seen, which means a lot because, trust me, he has seen a lot of controllers come through his door with me as his son. Review part 3, or something like that. The buttons feel good, just feels like a normal Xbox One controller. Review part 4, there are 3 different thumbsticks. I'm just using the traditional ones and they feel really, really good. There is a domed version and another one that looks pretty traditional. I haven't tried them. Maybe I'll try them one day for fun. And number 5, there's gotta be one more thing. Am I at 4 or 5? I don't even know. Let's just say I'm at 5. I'm standing in a dark, dimly lit room with nothing in front of me, so counting's not the thing on my mind. I'm actually more afraid of getting destroyed by some random monster running through my house and tackling me into my closet. Now, where was I? Number 8? No, I'm still at 5, right? Number 5, let's go with price. $150? Quite steep. Now, when you compare that price to the HAble mod kit at GameStop, which costs $40 just to change up some buttons and triggers, the price of the controller doesn't look that bad. So, weighing your options here. You can either spend $190 on the mod kit, or just spend $150 and you have a great controller. So, it's totally up to you. I think it's not too bad of a deal. So, steep price, but it is a really good controller, and I think it will hold up even to my BY bullshit and my breaking of thumbsticks that happens quite regularly with my 10 sensitivity, very wonky way of playing. I don't claw, so I basically smash my stick to the left or the right whenever I take my thumb off to double shot, or to BY, or to jump, or do anything else. That being said, this is my official review, or should I say my unofficial review of the Xbox One Elite controller. I was not endorsed in any way to do this. I give it a 9 out of 10, 1 point off for being ridiculously expensive, even if I think it is probably worth it. Have a great day, everybody. Please comment on the sound quality of this video if you will. And that's about it. Part 1 of my Montage 7 will be coming very soon. I am at 113 clips to date, so time to start sorting. Have a good one, guys. Peace.